when they see the array of items, I mean, when we put our tables out either for the indoor bazaars or even just outside in front for the summer sales, people are just amazed at how much we have in quantity, but just the variety of items.
And the quality.
Welcome to Passport Podcasts, a series for seniors by seniors. Today, in part 2 of our 2-part podcast, we talk with Anne Logie and Tim McLellan, the coordinators of the Knitting and Crafts Group at James Bay New Horizons. We'll talk about what you can expect to see and why you'll find great prices for handmade articles at the Spring Bazaar this Friday, March 27th from 10 to 4 p.m. and this Saturday, March 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the James Bay New Horizons Centre at 234 Menzies Street here in Victoria.
There's something, especially for maybe the people that live in this community, that they appreciate the work that has gone into making something hand knit or hand crocheted as opposed to something that's been store-bought.
Yeah.
So they see value in that.
Well, it was 1 year early on when I first took over the craft group when I came here. I sat outside when the craft sales were on, you know, like a barker, come on inside, you know. And I had a little sweater I had made out of scrap yarn. And I mean, it was good quality yarn, but I didn't have enough to make the complete sweater. So I'd done it in 2 halves with 2 different colours. And a lady came running across the street. She said, I was on the bus and I saw that, and I thought, I have to have that. And she said, I jumped off the bus and came to, and she bought it right there. And well, it's really just to advertise the sale. Oh, she said, no, it'll fit my little boy. So I hastily put a price on it, and off it went. So that, I think it shows that handmade things are, yes, they are appreciated. One of the things I made in the past that sold is I did a doll that was a piper, wearing a kilt and the whole bit. And that sold well. But that's fiddly, getting those pipes made. If I get it finished, I'm making a rabbit, a toy rabbit, for the Easter sale. So, well, he's about yay tall, and he has a carrot, and he got the usual floppy ears, and he's in yellows and white, and he's got his carrot. So,
and I think one of our other members, when I mentioned the when the spring sale was, she thinks she's going to make a bunny as well. Mm-hmm. So we have some things to look forward to. We probably have between 2,500 and 3,000 items on sale, on display at any one time. Not that they all sell that point, but over time, it's quite, $9,000.
Yeah, it takes a lot of $20 to make 900, which is what we made at our last sale. So that's quite a lot, if you break it down like that. Some of them would be a little less, some of them would be a little more, but on an average it would be about $20. You can't charge too much because it's what the traffic will bear, and this is not a wealthy community. So we tried to keep it reasonable. $20
for a nice pair of socks would go for $20. A nice shawl might go up to $25, $30, and if it's a little heavier, maybe even $35. But most things are probably under $18, you know. And again, just what the market will bear. We find that, if we get too many of one thing, somebody has either donated or they're just gone hog wild and made a bunch of toques. It's hard to sell toques in Victoria. So we can't price them too high or they'll never sell. So we have to keep it at a lower price just so that we can sell it, because we really can't afford to just keep making stuff and not sell it. That's basically the reason that we're doing it, is to raise the money. And if we're not raising money, we're not fulfilling our objective.
One of the things that I made to get what it was worth in time and effort. It would be too expensive to sell, so we raffled it, and that was the nativity scene. And we did the whole nativity scene: the wise men, shepherds, sheep, a camel, Mary, Joseph, the babe in the manger, and it was quite a different. Hadn't been seen before, and it did well. It did well for the raffle, but we couldn't have gotten it what it would have been worth if we'd tried to sell it.
At a real market, crafters, if they've gone to whatever kind of market that is going on, especially around Christmas time, you think of that one especially, a lot of those people, they have to rent their table, and so they're not there just to raise money for a charity. They're raising money for themselves. So they need to recoup not only the costs of the table, but the costs of the material. They probably won't get much for their time, so it's mostly material. But they're doing the same thing. They've got a hobby, they like knitting, and they like to make a little money. The benefit of our sales is that we don't have to pay for our table, so all the money we make is going to the center. So we don't have to price our items as high as those people at the Christmas markets, because they're trying to make a profit. We're just trying to raise money. So luckily we're able to keep our prices low, and seems to be working. Yes. Because there's such a wide variety of age in our members, some of them can't make as many things as they used to. A lot of times it can be arthritis in the hand, shoulder pain, things like that. So some of our members, especially previous ones, they could only make something as simple as a dishcloth. They really couldn't make anything much more than that. And that was they were perfectly good dishcloth, nothing wrong with them. But that was about as much as they could do, but they still wanted to be a part of the group. So for the longest time, I refrained from making dishcloths. I knew purposely that is all they could make. So I can do other things, and I would let them make all the dishcloths they wanted to. And so that worked out really well. We've lost a few of those members. We don't have as many in that condition, I'll say. So I'm now helping to make dishcloths. But for a while there, just different abilities and capabilities. But we welcome everybody no matter what they can do.
That we get Japanese students from UVic who want to come to New Horizons. The word has got out in Japan that if you can go somewhere to your volunteer time, ask for New Horizons. We've become well known. So we've quite often got a few Japanese students, and they've come in, usually gravitated to the craft group. And we both taught them to knit or crochet, and they've gone home with something concrete that they can say, this is from Canada and I made it. And quite often, there was one, I was trying to teach them, and he was showing them how to sew in his ends, and trying to get that thick yarn into a needle, and he was really having a hard time. So I said, let me show you a trick. And I showed him and you would have thought I gave him gold. He went, oh, because I managed to thread this needle. And it was quite cute.
We hope you've enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the upcoming Handicraft Bazaar at James Bay New Horizons, 234 Menzies Street here in Victoria. The bazaar is on this Friday, March 27th from 10 to 4, and this Saturday, March 28th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Passport to Joy and Connection will have an information table at the bazaar, and we would like to invite you to come by and say hello and to enter our draw for a Thrifty's grocery card. Passport to Joy and Connection is a program of the Creative Community Wellness Society in James Bay New Horizons with the financial support of the Mirewater Foundation. Created by seniors for seniors, Passport is a program of active companionship for seniors to share adventures, knowledge, and joy. Please visit us at passporttojoyandconnection.substack.com. See you at the bazaar.